Hello from me, Lazarus. We continue with the next lesson of the course by Lazarus IDE. We are currently working on the 9th chapter. Additional ribbon components, and we have reached point 9.3. Components related to images and drawing. We will look at 3 such components. We start with the timeage component. The name of this component speaks for its purpose: image. We'll start right away with an example, as we will not make the example here, we will work on the PDF file, and at the end I will show the example, for the last component when we get to it. We open a new empty project and we have the form 1 such timeage component and one button. It looks like this. We see that the timeage component represents a square area, surrounded by a dashed line. We can expand this area as much as we want. Let's see its distinguishing features. The main such property is picture. By pressing the button to the right and we get this dialog box. From here you can select an image to load and press the button on the right. I have put 2 images in our project folder and I will choose the first of them. It will then be displayed in this picture window. And I will press the OK button, and then we will see that our image will appear in the timeage component. So, I do this thing with the first image and I see the following thing, because the image is not bigger and sees only part of it. To see it all we have to let's expand the form and the component itself a bit. Image 1, you know how with the arrows here. If we want the visible area be sized exactly according to image dimensions, then we need to change its property to auto-size to true, and now we will see the following: exactly fits. Let's compile it and save the project. Now let's make it so by pressing the button, then for our image to appear. We rename the button to show, and, we know how by now. Double click on it, we call the corresponding procedure and write the following code there, as here is the path to the image itself. In this part of the code, here it is. It will be different for you, depending on its location. However, you must copy and put the path to your image here. We run the program. Here the home screen is this, and after pressing the show button the image itself is also visible. Thus, this road we use to the image is called the absolute path. But moving the project would be a problem elsewhere, then it won't work. To deal with this we should be able to make it so that to use a relative path, only that not to the image but to the executable.exe file of our program. Because we copied the image in the project folder, this time it will also apply to him. Here is this code written in the procedure, but I will show it in parts. This will write the path to the .exe file in the title of the form, and to extract just the path without the file name, we will use the function extract file path, and then it will be like this. Now we have extracted the path to the file and we will add to it the extension of ours image html.jpg. and we will use form1.caption as a variable. This way this code is written, and here is the result, and here is the code in the procedure, without writing the path in the form header. We will not consider them here in the lessons detail these codes because they are uploaded to the PDF file, and there you can feel free to review them. We will slightly complicate the program by adding one more button, and we'll give it a title change, and we will link it to our second image css.jpg. And his code will be the following, and here he is, and by pressing the change button, the image will change. Thus, the next component, which we will look at, is T-shape. The thumbnail icon of this component talk about its purpose. It serves for building simple geometric figures. We will focus on three of its properties characteristic of it: shape, pen, and brush. Let's expand our form first, and to place on it two components of type T-shape, in the form of a square, as follows. The first shape property specifies the type of geometric figure. Here it is, and here we can choose from the drop-down list: triangle, rhombus, and others. For the first element we will choose the helix, but which has an equal radius, that is, a circle, and for the second, a triangle. Just above shape is the pen property. It contains several other properties. Here's what they are. These properties refer to the type of the line with which the figure is drawn. I will choose for the first, in a different color and a thicker line, for the second a different color and an even thicker and broken line, like this. The third brush component serves to filling in the figure. For the first figure we will choose a green color, and in the form of a network, and for the second we'll choose another color and solid fill. We will do the following in the program. On startup it exits following screen, and when the button is pressed, show will appear the second image when press the change button. Except for changing the images, the geometric figures will also change their places. But the colors and fills are not to change. For this purpose we will write the following code in button press procedures. And here's what we'll see next: pressing the show button and after pressing the change button, here you see that the places have changed, not only the images, but also geometric figures. So, the next component that we'll consider T-Paintbox and the T-Canvas class. This component is used for drawing from the computer, with figures set by us and their internal deviations relative to their dimensions. By putting on the form, this one component looks like Timage, but it doesn't loading images and drawing. We will show an example. For this purpose we put in our form one component T-Paintbox. This is what it is. Drawing in it is done through the Canvas attribute, which is instance of the T-Canvas class. This class is a basic tool for drawing a graph. Canvas means canvas for painting. For drawing lines, rectangles, ellipses, text, are used. T-pen, T-brush, and T-font, also, to determine the size and color of the pen, brush, and font color. This is the method table of the T-canvas class, which also contain functions with arguments. Drawing is a lot more complicated, that's why we will not go into it in detail, and I will show you one of the simplest examples, so you can understand it. And who is more interested, can view here at this address. As an example, we will draw an ellipse, as you see from the method table should to use this ellipse method. These values in parentheses are abbreviations of left, top, right, bottom. So in the show button, we'll write the following additional code. I have put comments with explanations of the first 3 lines. In the 4th row we set the offsets, distances, on the ellipse, left, top, right, bottom. You may see them better in the PDF file. And in the change button, we will write the following additional code. We're just changing the colors here, the outer line and the inner fill, so when we press it, the ellipse to be colored in the reciprocal colors. Here is the entire code in the procedures of the 2 buttons. We compile and run the program, and this I will already show with the example. Here is our form, then we compile and start the program. We are waiting. Here I press the show button, then the change button, and again show and again change. That's all for this tutorial. Best regards.